Anthropic just turned Claude into a full-time employee, Claude Tag explained. For years, AI assistants have worked like tools. You open a chat window, asked a question, got an answer, and moved on. Anthropic just introduced something very different. Instead of building another chatbot, the company has launched Claude Tag, an AI teammate that lives directly inside Slack and can be assigned work much like a human employee. The launch signals a major shift in the AI race, moving from AI assistants that wait for instructions to AI coworkers that participate in team workflows. What is Claude Tag? Claude Tag is Anthropic's new Slack-native AI agent. Team members can simply type at Claude inside a Slack channel and assign tasks the same way they would tag a colleague. The AI then reads the conversation, understands the context, breaks the work into steps, and completes the task asynchronously. Unlike traditional chatbots that forget conversations after each interaction, Claude Tag is designed to maintain context over time and collaborate across ongoing projects. Anthropic describes it as a new way for teams to work with Claude, starting inside Slack, where much of modern workplace communication already happens. Why this matters? The launch is significant because it represents the next stage of AI adoption. The first generation of AI tools answered questions. The second generation generated content and code. The third generation is becoming an active participant in workflows. Claude Tag can monitor discussions, identify relevant updates, follow project progress, and surface information without being explicitly prompted every time. Anthropic is positioning the product as a persistent digital teammate rather than a chatbot. In simple terms, Claude is no longer waiting to be asked. It is now part of the team. How Claude Tag works. The workflow is intentionally simple. Add Claude Tag to a Slack channel. Connect approved company tools and data sources. Mention at Claude whenever assistance is needed. Claude analyzes the request and performs the task. Results appear in a Slack thread for everyone to review. Anthropic says Claude Tag can research information across conversations, track project updates, summarize discussions, analyze support tickets, investigate bugs, monitor important messages, surface relevant information proactively. The company claims this has already become one of the primary ways its own teams work internally. The evolution beyond Claude Code. One of the most interesting details is that Anthropic does not see Claude Tag as a separate product. The company describes it as the beginning of an evolution of Claude Code. Claude Code was already one of the most powerful AI coding agents available, helping developers write software directly from the terminal. Claude Tag extends that concept beyond software engineering into the rest of the organization. Instead of helping only developers, marketing teams can assign research, operations teams can track workflows, support teams can analyze tickets, product managers can gather metrics, executives can monitor key updates. This transforms Claude from a coding agent into a company-wide AI worker. The AI employee era has begun. The most disruptive aspect of Claude Tag is its persistent presence. Most AI tools disappear when the conversation ends. Claude Tag remains inside the workspace, continuously learning project context and becoming more useful over time. Anthropic executives have described it as an AI teammate that can be tagged exactly like a coworker. That may sound like a small design change, but it fundamentally alters how people interact with AI. Instead of OpenAI tool, ask questions, get answer, the workflow becomes assign task, continue working, AI delivers results. This is much closer to managing a team member than using software. The bigger AI race. Claude Tag also highlights where the broader AI industry is heading. OpenAI is pushing deeper into autonomous agents. Google is integrating AI throughout Workspace. Microsoft is embedding AI into Office and Teams. Anthropic is taking a different path, turning Claude into a collaborative employee that works alongside humans inside existing communication systems. The battle is no longer about which chatbot gives the best answer. The battle is becoming about which AI can become the most useful coworker. What happens next? Today, Claude Tag is available in beta for Claude Enterprise and Team customers using Slack, with Anthropic planning expansion to additional platforms in the future. Administrators retain control over what data and tools Claude can access. If successful, Claude Tag could become one of the first examples of a true workplace AI agent, an AI that doesn't just answer questions, but actively contributes to projects, tracks work, and helps organizations operate more efficiently. That is why this launch matters. Anthropic didn't simply release another AI feature. It may have taken the first major step toward turning AI from software into a digital employee. For years, AI has been our assistant. With Claude Tag, Anthropic wants AI to become our coworker. The question is no longer whether AI can help you work faster. The question is whether your next teammate will even be human. The story behind Claude Tag that most people missed. Most coverage of Claude Tag focuses on a simple headline. Anthropic turned Claude into an AI coworker. But that headline actually understates what may be happening. The bigger story is not Slack integration. The bigger story is that Anthropic appears to be building the first large-scale organizational operating system powered by AI. According to Anthropic, Claude Tag evolved from Claude Code and is now being used across teams inside the company, with AI involvement reportedly touching a large share of product development workflows. The company describes the system as a way for teams to collaborate with Claude directly inside Slack channels rather than through isolated chatbot conversations. Why Anthropic chose Slack instead of a new app? Most AI companies launch standalone products. Anthropic chose a different path. Instead of asking millions of workers to learn a new interface, Claude Tag enters the place where work already happens. This is strategically important because enterprise knowledge rarely lives in a single database. It lives in Slack conversations, Jira, tickets, GitHub, pull requests, internal documents, customer discussions, team decisions. The real value isn't the AI model. The real value is access to organizational context. Reuters recently highlighted that Microsoft, Snowflake, Databricks, and Glean are all chasing this same opportunity, becoming a layer that understands an organization's internal knowledge. Anthropic's move suggests it sees Slack conversations as one of the richest untapped data sources in modern business. The hidden shift from AI assistant to AI infrastructure. The first AI era was search. The second AI era was chatbots. The third AI era appears to be infrastructure. Claude Tag isn't being marketed as something employees open. Instead, it becomes part of the company's operating environment. That distinction matters. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Copilot largely function as tools that users consciously interact with. Claude Tag is designed to sit inside workflows continuously. This is much closer to how databases, email servers, or cloud infrastructure operate. You don't use them occasionally. They become part of how the company functions every day. The most important feature isn't what Anthropic advertised. One feature received surprisingly little attention. Ambient mode. According to Anthropic demonstrations, Claude Tag can proactively identify unresolved discussions, stalled decisions, and tasks that require attention instead of waiting for someone to explicitly request help. This changes the relationship between humans and AI. Historically, human AI. Now increasingly, human left-right arrow AI. Eventually, AI human. The technology industry has spent years building systems that react. Claude Tag represents a move toward systems that initiate. That is a much bigger shift than simply summarizing meetings. Why this could become a multi-billion-dollar market. Enterprise AI is rapidly becoming the most valuable segment of the AI industry. Consumer AI faces challenges. Users may pay $20 to $200 per month. Churn is high, competition is intense. Enterprise AI is different. A company with 10,000 employees might pay millions annually if an AI system can improve productivity by even a few percentage points. This explains why nearly every major AI company is moving toward workplace agents. OpenAI is building autonomous agents. Microsoft is expanding Copilot throughout Microsoft 365. Google is embedding Gemini across Workspace. Anthropic is pursuing AI teammates. The winner may control the next generation of workplace software. The Claude Tag timing is not accidental. Anthropic launched Claude Tag just as AI agents are becoming significantly more capable. A year ago, AI agents struggled with reliability. Today, frontier models can Write production code, analyze large datasets, conduct research, execute multi-step workflows, use external tools. The economics are finally starting to make sense. If an AI agent can complete even a small percentage of routine knowledge work, companies have a strong incentive to deploy it broadly. Claude Tag arrives at exactly the moment when enterprises are actively experimenting with this transition. The risk nobody is talking about. There is another story developing around Claude and AI reasoning transparency. Recent discussions among researchers and developers have focused on how much of a model's internal reasoning is actually visible to users. Some investigations found that reasoning traces returned through APIs may be summaries rather than the complete internal chain of thought, with portions cryptographically protected by providers. Researchers have also raised questions about how encrypted reasoning state is managed and transferred between sessions. Why does this matter? Because if AI agents are going to become trusted coworkers, companies will increasingly ask, how did the AI reach this decision? Can we audit its reasoning? Who is responsible when it makes a mistake? How much visibility should administrators have? These questions become far more important when AI moves from answering questions to taking actions. The real future of Claude Tag. Most people see Claude Tag and think, interesting Slack feature. A more realistic interpretation is, Anthropic is testing what happens when an AI becomes a permanent member of an organization. Today it summarizes discussions. Tomorrow it may manage projects. Later it could coordinate teams, allocate resources, track objectives, and execute business processes autonomously. The companies that dominate the next decade of enterprise software may not be those with the smartest chatbot. They may be the companies that build AI systems capable of understanding an organization's collective knowledge and acting on it continuously. Claude Tag is Anthropic's first major step toward that future. And if the experiment succeeds, the launch may be remembered not as a Slack integration, but as one of the first serious attempts to create a true digital employee.